Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's I'm going to be reviewing the Toyota Sequoia 1794 edition. Before we get into this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Lurch Miller Toyota here in Murray for giving some time with the Sequoia. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below. Also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Under the hood we have a hybrid twin-turbo 3.4 liter V6 that goes through a 10-speed. It puts out 437 horsepower and then a 583 pound-feet of torque. Fuel economy is 19 around town and then 22 on the highway. Now, before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. This coloration I think works really well. This is Lunar Rock, by the way, before the 1794 edition. You can see the Sequoia headlights down below and then the very reasonably sized grille compared to the Tundra. But yeah, definitely a cool look there. You got the fog lights at the bottom, parking sensors on top of that. And yeah, putting it all together, good style. Now this one has the Tier D off-road package, so you've got the all-terrain tires and the Tier D wheels, 265 by 60 by 20, for those of you wondering. So not like as off-roadish as the Tier D Pro that's going to have the 18-inch wheels. Got those black painted fender flares. You can see 1794 edition there on the side. Tier D side steps with it, and then it says Tier D off-road there on the very back. And this one does come with the roof rack as well, but there's your set profile. Now taking a look at the key fob, we've got our lock and unlock function, the opening for the hatch, and yeah, pretty basic Toyota key fob. Now taking a look at the cargo area here in the rear, you can see that there's not a crazy amount of space behind the third row. You've got the shelving system, that's what these little units are for, because you've got a battery pack there at the bottom that sits the third row a little bit higher, so if you want to make things level, that's what the shelves are for. Third row is power up and down, so you got those functions that help out quite a bit. But yeah, this is definitely something to contend with when you get a Sequoia. This leads us to the taillights. You can see how those kind of swoop across. You've got your iForce Max badge down below, Sequoia next to that. And other than that, let me guys think about the Lunar Rock here, but I think it looks good in the new Sequoia. Now popping inside, we've got a sunshade here for the rear passengers. Nice soft touch trim all over. You've got the wood trim down below as well. And this is pretty cool with the seats perforated, you know, with the brown trim. And then getting in, you're gonna have a lot of legroom here in the second row, because it's gonna be kind of a normal setup. We've got a little storage pocket there. We've got cup holders here in the back, heated and cooled seats for the second row passengers, USB ports. Like, the second row is a nice place to be. And then you can see there with the cup holders. Now, as for the third row, there you can kind of see with this other side, you got the nice brown trim on the seats. But yeah, things are pushed up a bit because of the battery and because of the solid rear axle, so third row is usable, but it's not quite as usable as other full-size SUVs. Now this leads us up front, where you can see again with the soft touch down below as well. And then there, got the wood trim that goes across, memory seats. All of our window controls, the mirrors do power fold in, blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. Payload on this is $12.90. And then here's the seat itself. Really nice trim all over. Power adjustments on the side. You've got nice looking pedals. Heated steering wheel. Got the gas cap release, and then the steering wheel's power adjustable. And Toyota logo front and center on the steering wheel. You've got our volume control set up there on the one side, cruise control on the other side, and the nice trim all around. Kind of has a rugged feel to it. And then you've got your regular stocks there on the back, and then of course full digital gauge cluster here in the center. And you'll notice the RPMs looks kind of cool if you ask me. Now there is a little bit of a change here with the drive modes in terms of how the car performs, but it doesn't do anything animation wise. And then there is multi-terrain select with this because it has the off-road package. Now this does have a 360 camera system in reverse, and you've got the off-road view too, which is nice. It shows you your pitch and roll if you do that. But yeah, really good resolution on that. Big screen. And you can see the little side tab there. Everything's just blown up with this screen. But what's cool is around the screen. So we've got nice trim on the dash, heads-up display, by the way. But yeah, really nice trim all over. And then you can see 1794 there on the wood. And then more brown trim down below. Now below the infotainment system, we got our climate controls, heated and ventilated seats with this. And then you can see for the trailer backup assistant, it's for the camera, for your stability control. This has rear locking differential again with that off-road package. Tier D shifter here, and then you got your four-wheel drive select. This does have a 2-speed transfer case, and then so this is kind of super bright, but drive mode, It's built in here, tow haul mode, your hill descent control, and then your multi-terrain select, and then more of that nice wood trim, and then the nice kind of like leather trim throughout. So again, just feels kind of more premium with the whole center console setup here. And then this does have a camera rear view mirror, and then you've got a panoramic sunroof up top as well. So this leads us to the window sticker. You guys can see pretty much everything standard equipment. Well, pretty much everything. Toyota off-road package is $2,000 add-on, and then I guess the heads-up display too, and the roof rack, $1,300. Wow. Anyways, $87,250 is the total MSRP. So yeah, the Sequoia at the top end is getting expensive, but let's sum things up. That's weird. The heated steering wheel is on. It's definitely not cold today. So Sequoia 1794 edition. I think this is a really cool vehicle, but I do have a critique, and it's not just for Toyota, it's for all manufacturers that have packages like this. There is something that they could do, in my personal opinion, that would make this substantially better. Substantially better. So we'll talk about it towards the end. But the new Sequoia, man, these are still like selling out. Like, I mean, obviously Toyota's been purposely keeping their inventory levels low. I mean, they've said that that's what they're going to do, so they don't want to overbuild anything. But still, I mean, there's some Toyotas like the Tacoma, right, that aren't selling quite as quickly, and then there's stuff like this that you got to get in a waiting list at most places to be able to get one. I mean, except for like the expensive ones, like Platinum, like the high-end ones like this, Platinum 2, where those might take a second to sell just because they're up. Other than Tier D Pro, Tier D Pros just always sell out. But enough about the sales of it. In terms of how the new Sequoia performs, it is very comfortable, and the seats, I like these. I like the look of the seats. And something that I noticed is, although the new Toyotas kind of feel a bit more plasticky, right, because they do use quite a bit of plastics, they wear really well. I've had a chance to review some Toyotas with some miles, this new gen Toyotas with some miles, and what I've discovered is that they seem to not get any worse, if that makes sense. That sounds like that's a bad way to put it, but I really do mean that. They seem to hold up. Like, everything seems to look like it was new, and so it's like, yeah, some of this stuff feels kind of like cheap and plasticky, but it doesn't start to fall apart like what you get with other manufacturers. Like Ford's a good example. Like, Ford feels cheap and plasticky, and then it just gets worse and worse as the vehicle ages. So it seems like they've done a pretty good job with this, all things considered. Other than that, I've had a chance to live with the new Sequoia. I think a couple times now, because I had a Tier D Pro for a week. Oh no, maybe just one time. It was that Tier D. I love that Tier D Pro. That was so much fun. It's a really nice vehicle. The third row's a bit of a downside. Usability there is not great. So here is my critique of the Sequoia, or not the Sequoia, sorry, this package, the 1794 edition and packages like this. I think that it is very strange that they don't offer this with like a cool looking exterior. And what I mean by this is, there's a lot of people that want this interior, myself included, and I don't want all the chrome on the outside. I want something that's blacked out on the outside. Like, tell me if I'm wrong, but I bet there's a lot of people that would love the Tier D Pro Sequoia with the 1794 interior, because I know a lot of people, like with the Raptors, they want the Raptor with the King Ranch interior. You know what I mean? So I think that's something that these manufacturers should consider offering, and that's not that difficult, right? Just take the exterior from like the blacked out exterior from like a Tier D Pro, and, or I guess you wouldn't want to look exactly like a Pro, but just take a blacked out limited exterior and then throw in this interior. And again, a lot of people would go for that. A lot of people would absolutely love that, I think. So let me know your thoughts on 1794. I like the interior. I'm just not a huge fan of the exterior, especially with the Tier D off-road package. It's very mixed. And that's maybe how they would do it, is if you get the Tier D off-road package, it blacks everything out. That would make sense, because why put blacked out wheels on a vehicle with a bunch of chrome? It's a little bit, it's not the worst looking thing on the planet, but it's a little bit mismatched. Let me know your thoughts.